I hope it was staged. I hope it stays, because sometimes people do hardcore. Some people do hardcore pro wrestling.
This wasn't a wild storyline or a clever heel turn. It was a moment when entertainment snapped and something real broke through. A packed indie show in Los Angeles watched a wrestler hit the canvas and stop moving while the man on top kept throwing. It looked unreal. It wasn't. And by the end of the night, one person was in the hospital, another was under investigation, and hundreds of people, kids included, were asking the same question. How did this get so far past the line? Before we go any deeper, tap subscribe to Strike First MMA and turn on alerts. No fluff, just real fight stories that hit harder than the headlines.
For the rest of the video, you can't really hear anything. The audio is pretty messed up. I don't know what happened to the camera, but it happened to stay that way. Basically, the point of it is he basically gets jumped right here. He got bit a couple times. He gets walked out of the place and they follow him out. Raja makes it outside of the venue, and as you can see kind of behind him, I want you to pay attention to this dude in the blue. He follows him, he makes some threats to him. He's basically trying to get him to come back. I think what he was trying to do is distract him long enough for the police to come, because I know that they had called the police immediately after he attacked him. So I'm guessing he was going to try and fight him or stall him long enough to keep him there, or I don't know. Point of it is he was trying to rage bait Raja into fighting somebody else.
The first thing that made people freeze wasn't the slam, it was the stillness after it. A body hits the mat, there's a beat, and then the punches start coming fast. Not pulled, not worked. Just heavy, bare knuckles snapping down in a blur. The referee hesitates. Wrestlers rush. Fans are torn between filming and shouting because what they're seeing doesn't fit the script they paid for. The attacker is Raja Jackson, son of UFC legend Quinton Rampage Jackson. The man on the canvas is Stuart Syko Stu Smith. The venue is KnokX Pro Wrestling Academy in Sun Valley. The date is August 23rd, 2025. And the video goes everywhere within hours. But that wasn't the whole story. It started before the bell. Outside the ring, words were exchanged. In that white-hot space where Bravado sells tickets, Syko Stu smashed a beer can against Raja's head. Some thought it was part of the bit, some didn't. Apologies were made, hands were shaken, the talk turned to doing it the wrestling way. Put it in the match, keep it safe, make it dramatic, give a receipt in a controlled spot so nobody leaves with real damage. On paper, that's how pro wrestling handles heat. In practice, it only works when everyone stays inside the guardrails. Except guardrails don't mean much when someone stops pretending. From ringside, Raja stepped through the ropes like a man with a decision already made. He lifted Syko Stu, drove him down, and then kept going. 1, 2, 5, 10. Bystanders counted more than 20 shots crashing into a face that wasn't defending anymore. It wasn't a spot. It wasn't payback with a wink for the cameras. It was a beatdown on a man who looked out. Wrestlers finally dragged Raja off, and the arena air changed from "this is wild" to "what are we watching" in seconds. And what came next made the pit in everyone's stomach even heavier. Blood, panic, people yelling to call an ambulance, kids asking parents if the man on the ground is okay, a couple of wrestlers trying to calm the crowd while others help medical staff. Shows like this live on energy, but the energy in that room went dead cold. Some fans filed out in stunned silence, others kept filming because no one knew what else to do. The "this is still a show" illusion was gone. A man lay motionless, and every witness understood why they were now looking at a crime scene instead of a finish. And outside the building, cameras kept rolling.
No. What he thought was he was a pro.
I just asked.
Yeah, another thing is, even when we are working like that, you don't.
But he doesn't call him like that.
He don't. He's an idiot. Hey. I didn't know that. I think that's a little. Oh!
What started as a scripted altercation has just turned into a full-blown nightmare.
Come on, man. We're leaving, man. We're walking away, bro. That's not taking shit.
Stuart Smith was rushed to the hospital, facial fractures, a lot of teeth gone, blood in the mouth. The kind of injuries that change a face and a future. Within a day, updates said he was awake and stable, but stable doesn't mean okay. Smith is a veteran who uses wrestling as therapy. Seeing him hurt like that hit people in the gut. In the days that followed, the community rallied, GoFundMes went up, and the clip kept replaying online, reminding everyone why this wasn't just wrestling drama. Meanwhile, the apologies and condemnations began. KnokX Pro put out a statement condemning the attack. Off-script, irresponsible, unprecedented. They made it clear this wasn't part of any planned spot and offered thoughts for Smith's recovery. Then Rampage Jackson spoke. He apologized, said he doesn't condone what happened, called it a work that went wrong, and emphasized that Raja's an MMA fighter, not a pro wrestler, that he should never have been in that position, especially with a recent concussion on his plate. The words carried weight, but they didn't rewind the tape, and words weren't the only things coming, so were detectives. The LAPD responded the night of the incident, took a report, and opened an investigation. In the court of public opinion, the verdict was instant and loud. In the real system, it takes time. As of August 31st, 2025, there has been no public announcement of arrest or filed charges, though talk of potential charges has been all over social media and in speculative reporting. Police move on evidence, not outrage, and this case has a lot of video to process. But there's another layer that won't be decided by police reports. In wrestling, a receipt is a controlled answer to an earlier shot, a way to
If
keep
charges are
respect
filed,
without
it could be
breaking
anything
the
from
pact.
aggravated
Footage and
assault
reports
to
show
attempt-
AJ Mana, Andre Joel Hudson, telling Raja to give him his receipt. Later, Mana said he was in character, speaking the language of the show, not ordering a real beating. Others in the locker room have argued the opposite, that gassing up a trained fighter to make it right lit the fuse that blew up the ring. Somewhere between those two claims is a responsibility problem. Who put a non-worker in position to do worker things and expected it to stay safe? And then the hot takes kept coming. As the clip raced around the internet, takes multiplied. Some MMA voices said this was an almost inevitable disaster, mixing a combat athlete with a live pro wrestling cue system and charging it with real emotion. Others floated darker theories, including that the show provoked chaos for publicity. That last one is opinion, not proven fact, but it's out there, and it's why promoters are getting grilled about safety, planning, and the ethics of blending legitimate animosity into live entertainment. Strip away the noise, and you're left with a simple, ugly lesson. There's a sacred agreement in pro wrestling. We'll make it look real, and you'll trust us to bring you home safe. When that compact breaks, nothing else matters. Not the crowd pop, not the storyline, not the hype. A receipt becomes a beating, a bit becomes an ambulance call, a show becomes evidence. Smith's jaw didn't know the difference between work and shoot. Neither do teeth. That's the reality that hangs over this entire story. Safety protocols aren't suggestions, and the second you let real violence in, it doesn't care about your booking sheet. Today, one man is healing, another is facing an investigation he can't punch his way out of. A promotion is defending its process, a legend is apologizing for his son while admitting he never should have been there, and a community is asking harder questions about how far you can push the boundary between performance and pain before something breaks you can't fix. If there's anything worth going viral from this, it's the reminder that the line exists for a reason, and crossing it doesn't make you real, it just makes somebody bleed.